What is up, YouTube? League of Legends Pro Gamer here. Today I'm making a video about how to beat Riven in lane. So in my opinion, there are 3 champions who have an advantage before the laning actually starts. These being Renekton, Darius, and Gnar. With Renekton, you use your stun and dash combo to slowly poke her down without taking damage in return. And with Darius, you simply outdamage her and you can pull her in as she tries to run away. In my opinion, though, Gnar is the best. Here are the runes I use when playing Gnar. And the Masteries aren't really too important. Anything should be fine as long as you run the standard 21-9 or 9-21. But the key in the runes is the movement speed and the cooldown reduction. And this allows you to keep your distance from Riven, as well as being able to spam Q to do damage, to chase, and to get away. Okay, so here we are. This is obviously the early levels here. You can see level 2. What's so good about Gnar is that in mini Gnar, you can abuse with your range and with the cooldown and movement speed that you have from your runes. And then in Mega Gnar, you're actually able to out-trade her as long as you can hit your stun and at least one of the Qs. So as you saw there, I went aggressive and was able to stun her and get my combo off. Another great thing about Gnar is his escapability. So as you see here, as Lee Sin comes, I'm able to jump away, and his ease passive is pretty cool, how you can jump off of a minion and bounce off again. So here I'm going to continue farming, and I'm going to keep on trying to do what I do. And yeah, I got kind of thinking, Lee Sin might be coming back. You see I'm staying pretty passive. Oh, here he comes. So now again, I use my E passive to get away. It's just another great thing about Gnar. This is a great example of why Gnar is such a good counterpick to Riven. I'm able to zone her from farming, because if she tries to come close, I can just slow her with my Q and get 2 more autos off to activate Gnar's W Hyper, granting me a ton of movement speed and dealing tons of damage. When Riven sees the minion wave coming, she decides that she should go aggressive. At this point, I immediately respond by backing up, hitting her with my Q. And at this point, she realizes she has made a mistake and starts running away. I take advantage of her abilities being on cooldown and jump in, knowing that I will out-trade her. Another reason why I'm so confident, and that you should focus on when you're playing Gnar, is your rage. I was 4 or 5 autos away from activating my passive, so even if I started losing the trade and damage, the extra health and damage from Mega Gnar would have been able to ultimately win the trade and kill Riven, or at least get her flash, as I just did here. Another great thing with Gnar is no matter who you're against, but specifically with Riven here, you can start Thorn's Blade, and that allows you to have a ton of sustain in lane, because you never really take too much damage from her. So as you see here, Riven just backed and TP'd back to lane. And instead of myself going back, I'm going to stay here, keep the harass going, and a good level advantage. And then as you see right there, she goes aggressive, does a bit of damage to me, but I'm still out trading her even though she has 2 more longswords. At this point, Riven is going to get frustrated, and any little opportunity she sees, she's going to jump in and try to get damage off. And as you saw there, I was pretty quick to react. I shouldn't have been so far forward giving her that opportunity, but I was quick to react and jump away. Now, yes, she has some of her abilities on cooldown, but when your E is on cooldown, you really don't want to be too far forward, giving her any chance to go aggressive and get a full combo off. Now, I want to show you guys this, because this is exactly what I don't want you to do. Notice how my rage is running out. Riven sees that as well, so she goes extremely aggressive here. Luckily, I have a level on her, and I still have my flash, so I'm able to get away. And we actually traded pretty evenly, but if I didn't have my flash, she easily would have been able to kill me here. Now, at this point, I'd say Gnar is gonna beat a Riven when you're both low health, because of everything we've talked about with the movement speed and with the poke from Gnar's Q. So I'm not going to go recall. I'm just going to sit here in lane and continue to do what I'm doing. Now, I wouldn't say go aggressive. Just keep the same strategy of slowly trying to poke her down. And no, I wasn't able to hit any Qs there, but I was able to farm and shove the lane up to her turret. And this is where Gnar excels, especially against Riven. As you see, I'm able to poke her and then activate Hyper. Boom. Kill. And I know it's easier said than done, but as long as you follow the basics in terms of keeping your distance and autoing when you can, and slowly poking her down, you're going to be golden every time. The next thing I want to talk about is build. In this game, I went tankier than I usually do. I usually go for a full-on Triforce. But lately I've been liking this strategy where you get a Phage, which is extremely important for the movement speed and auto attacks, but then you rush a Sunfire, because you have the tankiness then to full-on 1v1 her no matter where you are and no matter how much you mess up in terms of your positioning. That is assuming that you played the earlier levels right and you were able to get ahead. Okay, so now I want to talk about build specific. So, you rush a Phage no matter which way you're going. If you want to go towards more damage and you're confident in your positioning, then you can build a Sheen or a Zeal, whichever one you want, and then finish off the Triforce. Next, you can go either a Blade of the Ruined King, or you could build a Randuin's or a Sunfire. It just completely depends on what your team needs and how you're doing in lane. If you're going the tanky route, then you still rush the Phage, and then next you can get a Sunfire or a Randuin's depending on who's on the other team and whichever one you feel more comfortable with. Here's an example of using TP to join in on a team fight. Pick off Ahri here with Graves, and then I make a poor decision and I go after Janna. Always stick with your teammates because your job isn't to carry your team, you're there to tank. Then here I see a TP down bottom and decide to come in. Yes, I get a kill out of it. Was it completely worth? Maybe, maybe not, because I can go ahead and tell you that this did not end up too well. Once laning phase is done, if you have an advantage like I do here, you're best off to take advantage of it and stay in your lane as much as possible and keep killing the Riven over and over and over. At this point, there's nothing she can do. You can just trade autos and I'll beat her, whether I'm in Mini Gnar or Mega Gnar. So that is how you beat a Riven in lane. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. A like and a subscribe would be awesome. Thanks for watching. And as the great GBay99 would say, good luck in solo queue.